Hi, so this is just a nice little wee bit of a session in and around just a seated flow, very, very similar to probably what you've done today. So just like we've reiterated before, when we're sitting in a chair, we want to make sure that our feet are supported by the floor or by having some blocks underneath. You can choose to have your back directly against it, the back of the seat, or you can have yourself free. And we're thinking about trying to maintain this really nice long spine. Okay, so my head is tucking in. I'm just going to do a quick wee chat now around breathing and sitting in a chair, because as we bring some attention to our breath a little bit more today, it's really important that we're considering the line that the breath comes into the body and the line that the breath comes out. So if we kind of roll forwards from our shoulders and then just try and lift the head, you can kind of see how it puts quite a lot of pressure into the throat. And it's just going to reduce our breathing capacity. So before we even think about breathing, we're going to see if we can start to shift our line. So we're going to start to lean back a little bit more than what you think you need to. You're actually coming right back onto the back of your bum. We're going to start to think about lifting up from the chest. And then we go, rather than having our chin just, we're going to bring that chin down, but we're going to gently bring the head back. So you'll actually feel a little bit of pressure in the back of the neck. Okay, so the pressure is actually just the muscles waking up. It's not actually technical pressure, just to let you know. So a wee trick for this is place one hand or two hands behind your head. I'm knitting my fingers, but you do what feels most comfortable for you. I'm just going to do one hand so you can see. Keep the elbows pretty wide. My hand is pressing forwards and my head is pressing back to see if we can get a little bit of a longer neck. And see how my chin is tucking down. And I'm going to keep breathing here, but we're actually going to hold this for nearly up to 40 seconds. And the purpose for this is just to get the muscles starting to realize that they're not in an overstretched position, they're in a waking up, let's do work position, trying to get these nice postural muscles at the front of the throat, some softening, some doing some work so that we can hold that head nice and tall. Well done. All right, and have a wee rest. And it can feel a little bit lightheaded, so don't be a little upset about that. Just kind of let everything settle for a moment. And then when you feel like you've got this really nice alignment or inlineness, we're going to start to bring awareness to our breath again. So you can place your hand on your chest, on your belly, on your sides, and as we breathe in, we're going to widen the sides out wide or fill the front of the body. If you're a little bit stronger, I'd recommend coming out to the side as well. But if it's the first time you're kind of bringing attention to your breath, it can feel a little bit scary and confronting. So as we start to breathe in, we're breathing in to create space. And as we're breathing out, we're trying to let go. Let go of tension, let go of anything that's not going to serve you. So we inhale. So that's like we're putting air or water into our big balloon of lungs. And then as we're breathing out, that's when things are going to get smaller because we're pushing that air out. Okay, so nice big inhale and exhale. Well done. All right, from here we're going to add a little bit of arm movement. So inhaling, arms are floating up either to the sides, remember the front or the back, and then as we're breathing out, we're going to bring those arms back and in. Inhaling up, arms up, and then exhaling out, arms come back. Well done. And I'm just going to do the third option as well for you. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Notice how the head doesn't need to move with our arms. From here, we're going to add a little bit of a side stretch. So I'm going to start with my arms down for a little bit of a safer option. We're going to maintain those ribs nice and high. So we inhale, lift those ribs up because we're expanding. And as we exhale, we're going to gently reach down to the side. We're going to inhale, come back into center, and then exhale, come down to side. Now this is where life's going to get a little bit more interesting. You can inhale those arms up to the sky. You can exhale, bring one down. This longer lever at the top is going to add quite a lot more spice. So if you're not quite there yet, that's not a problem. But if you do need that extra challenge, okay? We're trying today to keep our body from twisting. Sometimes once you get a little bit stronger, we're going to add a little bit of a twist here. But today we're keeping that body nice and aligned. Just like with our standing work, where we were working on keeping our body stuck between those two banes of glass. We're not trying to twist. I'm going to do one more here, and then we've got this amazing chair that's going to help us with our twist. So we're going to inhale, extend those arms up to sky. As we breathe out, we're going to bring one hand to the outside leg. Take this other hand and gently use it to turn your body. We're still trying to keep the body nice and tall. So we breathe in, come back into center, option for arms to sky, and then breathing out, gentle twist to the side, okay? So for those of you with lumbar fusions, osteoporosis, osteopenia, we need to be quite mindful that you're not yanking your body around here because we don't want to create a fracture or an issue with your lumbar fusion. So we're just being quite gentle. Your goal here is to keep both knees in the straight line. You'll tend to twist at the hips, so we're going to keep those legs nice and stable. Be mindful, this will get your digestive system running. We're going to do one more either side. Well done. And then coming all the way back into the center. Awesome. Coming through our seated cat-cow. So I'm turning, you don't need to turn. Sitting up nice and tall. Remember how we breathe in and we lift the spine. And then as we're breathing out, we're going to round the spine. So I'm tilting down from my tailbone. I'm rocking down onto my sit bones, lifting and lengthening through each bone at a time until I tuck my chin in. And then I have a nice big breath in. Lift. Gently arching back. Now, you can keep your head in this same line, so you're still looking at the opposite wall as you arch your back. Maybe draw the shoulders back and down. Or I'll demonstrate in the next round as we breathe. Nice round spine. When we're coming in to the opposite C, you can think about lifting the chin, opening the throat. But just be mindful, if it feels too confronting, a bit too clonky, feel free just to keep it nice and stable there. We've got one more round. Coming back up. Awesome work. And then coming all the way around once more. Awesome. Okay, from here, I'm turning my chair once more. You don't need to. We're going to start to wake up through the shoulders. So we're going to take one hand out to the side, okay? Keep it like a little bit of a noodly hand. Give it a wee wiggle. Gently guide the arm across the body. If you're a bit chesty, you might need just to adjust and see how I'm placing my hand just by my wrist just to draw the arm. I have seen people injure themselves doing this before, so we're going to slowly build it up. Then we're going to bring the arm out, do the same thing on the other side, so arm out to the side, keeping my chest looking forwards, nice noodly arm comes across, gentle stretch across, stretching into the back of those shoulders, well done. This time we're going to come open, bring the arm across. This time rather than holding with my hand to my wrist, I'm going to scoop up with my elbow to my forearm, and that's going to add just a little bit more stretch. Remember, we don't want to go too hard, especially if our tendons of things are just a bit niggly. We just don't want to create too much issue. Well done. I'm going to add the fancy option here if you choose to take it, taking one arm out to the side, bring it across the body. We're then going to scoop the elbow underneath, up along the upper arm, and then bend at the elbow. We don't have to turn hands to anything. Starts to stretch the opposite arm, then we're going to release. Coming to the other side, arm comes across, scoop my elbow up behind the other elbow towards the upper arm, bend at the elbow, give those fingers a wee wiggle. Awesome work, and then we're going to slowly release. Give them a wee bit of a shake. Good work. Okay, into hands and wrists, linking the fingers to create a basket shape. The heels of my hands are super glued together. Moving through the wrists a little bit here. They might be a little bit clunky. This is our wee disco ball. Moving into what we call our disco wave. Well done, and then we're going to turn those palms forwards, thumbs down. I've seen someone dislocate their fingers doing this, so be very gentle. Don't dislocate your fingers. Flip those hands back the other way. And we're just going to do that one more time. Moving through those wrists, giving them a nice wee, what is this called, a disco wave. And then we're just going to turn those hands. Do not dislocate your fingers. Going one way and then back to the other. Awesome work. Start to roll the shoulders now as we bring those hands to the thighs, rolling back one way, forwards the next, And we're looking for nice slow movement, still working with our breath, feeling those shoulder blades move. Well done. We're going to do 2 more circles here. Awesome work. And last one. Well done. Okay. Gentle wee neck stretch now, bringing our ear to our shoulder, bringing our hand to the shoulder that's been stretched and gently guiding that shoulder down. Okay, we're not doing anything yanking the head. We quite like our neck bones staying the way that they are. Holding this just for a few breaths here, starting to slow everything down. Then slowly guiding the head back into center, ear to the other side now. Hand to shoulder, drop that shoulder down, ear to the opposite shoulder, gentle stretch. Well done. Awesome work. Come back into center now. Start to bring your awareness back to your breath. Start to let the shoulders soften and relax. And then if you would like to sit yourself all the way back against your chair now, hands wherever they feel comfortable. Maybe close down the eyes. See if you can allow your awareness and focus to sit with the breath. As you notice your focus being shifted, just gently guide that awareness back. Taking our time. One more round of breath here. Well done. You've done awesome. Have a lovely day, and I will see you later on.